Hello, hello, my dear friends and fellow anglers. Your favorite fishing expert is back with a fresh, hot-off-the-press forecast for a day that promises to be absolutely special on the water. We're talking about Saturday, the 28th of December, 2025, here in beautiful New Zealand. Why is it special, you ask? Well, buckle up, because with stable, warm summer temperatures and a waxing gibbous moon, this day is shaping up to be an angler's dream, full of active fish and plenty of opportunities to make some incredible memories. Let's dive straight into what you've all been waiting for, the forecast by species and the tactics to reel them in. First up, for all you freshwater fanatics, our beloved trout, both brown and rainbow. December is prime time for these beauties in New Zealand's pristine lakes and rivers. As the water warms, trout are actively feeding and often less wary than they become later in the season. Where to find them? Look for them in the runs and around areas with increased insect activity, especially during the early mornings and late evenings. The evening rise is actually at its peak during December and January, offering some fast and furious action. They'll also be found in faster flowing water where oxygen levels are higher and around submerged structures and lake edges. On what to catch them? My advice for the 28th of December is to lean into dry fly fishing, especially with big, bushy terrestrials like cicada or beetle patterns during the day. As evening approaches and hatches begin, switch to smaller emergers or nymphs drifted through the runs. For spin fishing, small, brightly coloured lures like Tasmanian devils or soft plastics in natural colours will be very effective, especially trolled in deeper lake waters during the midday heat. Moving to the saltwater, let's talk about the ever-popular snapper tea. It's summer and snapper will be abundant, especially around the North Island. Where to find them? Look for them over reefs, in channels with good current, and even in shallower sandy bays during the cooler parts of the day, as they'll be on the hunt for food. They often congregate inshore before spawning and will be actively releasing eggs throughout summer. On what to catch them? My go-to for snapper on a day like this would be soft baits in pilchard or natural baitfish colours, fished with light jig heads. Send them down and impart a subtle action. You can also anchor up and use fresh pilchard or squid as bait on a ledger rig. And here's a little trick that often pays off big time. Don't be afraid to use a burley trail to draw them in. And finally, for those seeking a real battle, the powerful kingfish. December is prime time for kingfish across both islands. Where to find them? These aggressive predators will be cruising around pinnacles, prominent headlands and reefs, often close to shore or around offshore islands. Look for birds diving, which often signals a feeding frenzy below. On what to catch them? Live bait such as kahawai or mackerel, either slow-trolled or presented on a float, are lethal. Heavy-duty spinning gear with large stick baits or poppers can also provoke aggressive strikes from these magnificent predators. Just ensure your tackle is robust enough to handle their immense power. Now, let's talk about the conditions shaping this fantastic day. Weather. For the 28th of December, we're looking at typically pleasant summer weather in New Zealand. Air temperatures across the North Island, in places like Auckland, will reach highs of around 72 to 73 degrees Fahrenheit, about 22 to 23 degrees Celsius, and lows around 57 to 61 degrees Fahrenheit, 14 to 16 degrees Celsius. The South Island will see slightly cooler but still very comfortable, highs around 68 degrees Fahrenheit, 20 degrees Celsius. We might experience some light, patchy rain or isolated showers, especially in the morning, with about a 50% chance of rain around 9 a.m. in areas like Auckland, so be prepared for that. Wind will generally be from the west to northwest, blowing at 11 to 16 miles per hour, shifting to easterlies in the evening. Atmospheric pressure is looking relatively stable to slightly fluctuating around 1,000 to 1,002 hectopascals, which usually means settled fish behavior. Overall, with no major fronts moving through, fish should be settled and active. Water temperature. Water temperatures across New Zealand will be well into their summer warming trend. Coastal sea temperatures in the North Island around places like Auckland, will be sitting comfortably around 68 to 73 degrees Fahrenheit, 20 to 23 degrees Celsius. Even in freshwater lakes and rivers, temperatures will be comfortable, leading to high levels of fish activity. This warmth stimulates their metabolism, making them more inclined to feed aggressively, especially in the mornings and evenings when the sun isn't directly overhead. Moon phase. As for the moon phase on the 28th of December 2025, we have a waxing gibbous moon with about 58 to 61% illumination. It's about 8 to 9 days old since the new moon. Now, according to popular fishing lore, the increasing light after the new moon often stimulates fish activity, making them more confident to feed. The moon will rise in the mid-afternoon and be visible through most of the night. While some anglers swear by specific moon phases, I've found that strong positive factors like stable weather and warm water often outweigh minor lunar influences, and those factors are certainly with us today. Overall activity. The general activity of fish will be high. We are smack in the middle of summer, the peak fishing season in New Zealand. Trout and salmon are abundant and actively feeding after their winter spawning, gorging on the summer's bounty. Saltwater species like snapper and kingfish are also very active and in good condition. You might find fish moving into deeper water or shaded areas during the hottest parts of the day, but they'll emerge to feed voraciously as conditions cool towards evening. Considering all these factors, the stable, warm summer temperatures, inviting water temperatures, a favorable moon phase and high biological activity, my friends, I'm giving the overall fishing forecast for New Zealand on the 28th of December 2025 a resounding good to very good. We've got stable warm summer temperatures overall, which means active feeding. While the occasional light shower and varying winds will demand adaptability, they also create opportunities. The rising water temperatures and general summer activity mean fish are in their peak feeding condition across both fresh and saltwater environments. Just be mindful of any localized wind shifts or passing showers which might push fish a little deeper temporarily. So grab your gear, pack your patience and get out there. I wish you all bent rods and screaming reels. Tight lines, my friends, and may you have ni hao ni cheshwi. That's neither tail nor scale for those of you not familiar with the old Russian saying for good luck. If you enjoyed this forecast, please hit that like button, subscribe for more expert tips, and ring that notification bell so you don't miss a single bite. And tell me in the comments below, what are your plans for fishing this weekend? What's your go-to summer lure in New Zealand? I love hearing your stories.